Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Ripple co-founder Chris Larsen moved a massive amount of XRP yesterday. 50 million XRP, in fact, and that's the first time in about 11 and a half years since any XRP moved from that account, with the exception of one transaction that I found in which just one XRP was transferred. I don't know if that was for some sort of test purpose. I could only speculate. But other than that, no movement from Chris Larsen's account. He has multiple XRP accounts, mind you. But no movement from this one over 11 years. Now, this has resulted, understandably, in lots of speculation amongst the XRP community. Some speculating that perhaps this means that Chris Larsen is about to sell his XRP, and it's going to crater the price of XRP, perhaps, if he does so. So I'll just tell you this at the outset. On the question of, does this transaction signify that Chris Larsen intends to sell that quantity, the 50 million XRP, is that what that transaction signifies? And I can tell you emphatically, no, that individual transaction does not signify that. It doesn't mean there can't be subsequent transactions that may result in that, but does this one? No, and I will explain why. Also, on the question of, would him selling this XRP, this 50 million XRP, is that going to harm the price of XRP? And again, the answer to that, I will tell you at the outset, is no, and I will explain exactly why that is. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so here's the headline from the Crypto Basic. Ripple chairman Chris Larsen moves 50 million XRP for the first time in 11 years. A wallet belonging to Ripple chairman Chris Larsen moves 50 million XRP to a new unidentified address. Interestingly, the recent transaction marked the first notable outbound transfer from the wallet for the first time since its creation. Notably, this wallet was created in the early days of the XRP ledger and funded with a whopping 500 million XRP in February 2013, representing part of the XRP allocations to the Ripple chairman. Since then, the wallet has failed to move any of the tokens, only transferring out one XRP in December 2017. However, most recently, whale tracking resource Whale Alert indexed the latest substantial outflow from the address last night. And so this is the transactions of the Whale Alert website. And by the way, before I started recording, I noticed that the Whale Alert website is calling the XRP ledger the Ripple blockchain. Whale Alert. It is freaking 2024. They got a freaking Ripple fidget spinner logo here. Where is the XRP logo? There's no excuse for this in 2024. 2017, fine, I got it. There was confusion about fine. It is 2024. Anyway, but if you look towards the bottom of the screen, here you can see 50 million transaction, and here going to BitHump, this is the account in question. You can see it now only holds 450 million XRP. And right here where I'm circling, for those of you looking, this is the transfer literally yesterday, 50 million XRP outbound, which went to a new address, which I think I pulled up, and I'll pull up in just a second here. But scrolling through the rest of the account transaction, the entire history since inception, you can see there's a lot of transactions, and it says there's 0 XRP that's moved, but that's not actually true. A lot of these transactions, they came from presumably outright scammers, and then I think also some people that just wanted to write a memo and then have it permanently attached to this account, because you can do that. And so what a lot of these transactions are, they just, whoever sent it, sent one drop. That's the smallest amount of XRP that you can send. So recall that each individual Bitcoin has 100 million little pieces of Bitcoin inside of it, with the smallest unit being called 1 Satoshi. So there are 100 million Satoshis in 1 Bitcoin. Similarly, within XRP, there are not 100 million pieces inside. There are 1 million pieces inside. And the smallest unit, of course, is called a drop. So you can transfer literally the smallest unit, which is just 1 drop. And I opened a few of these just for fun. And some people are just writing some wacky stuff. Some of them look like outright scams. And so doing what they're doing, but you can send it and then you can write whatever memo you want to write. And so that's what people are doing. So anyway, if you're just wondering what are all these zero transactions, they're not technically zero. If you open them, you can see there's actually a tiny little bit XRP that was sent to him, but that's why that is showing up as it is. Here's the one XRP that went outbound. I have no idea why. That was the end of 2017. He might have just been testing. I have no idea. I have no reasonable speculation on that, even, to be honest with you. But here's the original transaction here. This account receiving 500 million XRP on February 17th, 2013. And at that point in time, you know how much XRP was worth? It was worth $0.00. That's right. So Chris Larsen, he received 500 million of an asset that was literally worth nothing. But he received it with the hopes that one day perhaps it would be worth something. And they couldn't know that it would be as widely as adopted as it is now. But it has been successful. XRP, I know people like to bitch about price because it's been consolidating for 7 years. XRP itself, if you look at the actual value it provides, it's one of the most successful cryptocurrencies in the history of this asset class. Unquestionably, that's true. Businesses actually use it. People use it. Huge community, lots of developers, the whole 9 yards, right? But anyway, so that was the actual transaction. Just kind of funny to think, though. It literally was worth absolutely nothing at that particular moment in time. And part of the reason he got as much XRP, Chris Larsen, got as much XRP as he did, is because there was an understanding, and this is not speculation, they've discussed this, there was an understanding that there was a certain amount of legal risk with the regulatory uncertainty in the crypto space, especially when Ripple was founded back in 2012, late 2012. And so part of the deal was, yeah, you got a ton of XRP if you're Chris Larsen, but it also wasn't worth anything, and there was no guarantee it would, and you were taking on this legal risk, so it was a whole thing. So I always thought it wasn't that crazy, necessarily. If memory serves, and I could be wrong on this, but I think he got like maybe 4 billion XRP, so this was one of his wallets, and it's just been sitting here. At least this has, right? And so here's the account that received it. And again, this account was just created literally yesterday. So now there's 50 million XRP sitting there. And as of the time I'm recording this, it just received that and nothing's been sent out since. And it was also kind of fun to see this wallet. This is the wallet that funded Chris Larsen's wallet that ended up getting the 500 million, about 11 and a half years ago. And this is one of the first wallets ever, January 1st, 2013. If you go to CoinMarketCap, you can pull up historical snapshots. I'm sure many of you are aware of that. So you can see on any given date that they tracked anyway, which wasn't literally every day, but every few days they track what was the price for the entire crypto asset class. So you can pull up a date and it'll show, August so-and-so, 2013, here's the price of Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, and it'll look just as it looked if you were there actually on that day in, for instance, 2013, or whatever month or year you want to check. And it actually wasn't until August that CoinMarketCap even started tracking the price of XRP. So I'm not really sure when XRP first got traded at all, but I don't think that it got traded until the later part of 2013. If anybody has some data on that, that'd be like a fun trivia thing. So if anybody has some information on that, I'd be curious. I don't know everything, so I don't know that. Feel free to drop a comment below if you know that. That would be, I'm just pure curiosity, really, more so than anything else. But it is neat to see this kind of historical stuff here. But still, is this something that indicates Chris Larsen is about to sell? I say no, and the reason that I say that pretty firmly is because all Chris did was create a new XRP wallet, and I don't know. I'm telling you straight up, I have it's going to be allocated for something perhaps that's special. He wanted to divvy up something along those lines. Okay, maybe. But he created a brand new XRP wallet, moved it to there, and it's fine, we don't know why. Does that mean he's going to sell? Well, if he were going to sell it, first of all, we know, thanks to the SEC v. Ripple lawsuit, that almost all of the XRP that Chris Larsen has ever sold, he did outside of the United States on centralized exchanges. So if he were going to do that, if he was ready to sell, then presumably, highly likely, what he would have done is moved whatever quantity of XRP he wanted to sell to a centralized exchange, and it would have likely been one outside of the United States. Historically, that is what he has done. This is different. This is, hey, I'm Chris Larsen. I made a new wallet, and I moved some of my XRP to the new wallet. That's it. I don't know what he's doing. Now, it doesn't mean he can't take this and then move it to an exchange and sell it, but does this transaction indicate he's about to sell? No. Why would anyone think that? Of course not. And then even if he did sell, okay, and this is a fun conversation as well. If he did sell, Would this somehow magically crater the price of XRP? No, emphatically, no, that is not the case. People are literally concerned that Chris Larsen is about to dump his XRP. It's going to crash the market. I'm telling you, if he sold all of this XRP, the whole 50 million he just transferred, no one would even notice. Consider this. So that 50 million XRP worth, let's just use a round number, worth today somewhere in the neighborhood of about $30 million. So not chump change for pretty much any individual. Well, for him it is, he's a billionaire, but for a normal person, it's kind of a big deal. But still, so it's in the scheme of things, is that much? Is it gonna, in terms of the rest of the global XRP market? No. In fact, so that $30 million worth of XRP, that's only about 3% of XRP's normal 24-hour volume, which is, by the way, normally around plus or minus $1 billion. And on days where there's excitement around XRP, even this year, it's been over $2 billion. But even if you say, times where there's not that much excitement, typically around $1 billion, we're talking about Chris Larsen's $30 million compared to $1 billion in a single 24-hour period. So you could sell all of that and the market wouldn't notice. Although, consider this too, though. If Chris Larsen thought selling such a large amount, I say that subjectively, if he thought that would actually move the XRP market downward in price in any detectable way, unquestionably, he would simply sell that quantity of XRP over a period of time rather than all at once, and we would all be none the wiser. And by the way, this is exactly what Jed McCaleb did for nearly a decade. Jed McCaleb, of course, co-founder of Ripple, one of the three creators of XRP and the XRP ledger. He sold his billions of XRP for a span of, better part of a decade. I think it's like eight years or so. And there's a reason that he was legally bound to only sell the little bits that he did. It's because it had to be a certain percentage of volume, because they knew, Ripple knew, and Jed McCaleb understood, that way it wouldn't cause any sort of detectable movement in the price of XRP. That was the whole point. And the terms of that are publicly known. I've talked about it a number of times over the years on my channel. And mind you, when Jed McCaleb finally sold his last XRP, the global, and that was in, by the way, middle of July of 2022, when he finally ran out of XRP to sell from his taco stand wallet, that's what he called it. The global price of XRP didn't change at all because his transactions were overall such a small percentage of the market that nobody could even tell. That's how big the market is compared to what he was selling at this particular point in time, which is pretty cool. So no, this in and of itself, there's no reason to think that this means he's going to sell it. Now, if he does move it to an exchange, okay, then you'd have an argument. So, but right now the answer is no. And on top of that, even if he did sell it, who cares? And on top of that, it's his to do with it, whatever the hell he wants to do. I don't care. If he wants to sell it, he can sell it. Also worth mentioning, people were concerned when this transaction occurred, given that it had been dormant for over a decade. People were concerned that this could have been some sort of hack. And I can report that it seems to not be the case, or we would have seen something by now. But Chris Larsen actually did get hacked earlier this year. Remember this? Here's the headline from February 1st, 2024. Ripple chairman confirms hack to his personal XRP account, not Ripple. Chris Larsen, the executive chairman of Ripple, has officially confirmed a recently reported hacking incident, but clarified that the breach impacted his personal XRP account and not that of Ripple. And so here's that report at the time. It was actually unearthed by Zach XBT on January 31st of this year. That was reposted by Chris Larsen. This is his official account here. And he wrote, yesterday there was unauthorized access to a few of my personal XRP accounts, not Ripple. We were quickly able to catch the problem and notify exchanges to freeze the affected addresses. Law enforcement is already involved. This is an isolated incident, and Ripple wallets are secure. / were never compromised. We've confirmed nearly all the affected funds were converted out of XRP. We're working with law enforcement and have been advised that a significant portion of funds have been frozen and are pursuing the remainder aggressively. And by the way, before recording this video, I was wondering if there was an update to this story, because I didn't recall seeing anything in the news on it. And so after doing some internet searches, I couldn't find anything. So I don't know. I'm sure there have been some developments behind the scenes, But I haven't heard anything, so I don't know to what degree Chris Larson may have gotten some or all of the funds back. You'd think he'd at least get some because, as he cited here, a bunch of it was already frozen. Sounds like some was actually successfully sold, though. So I don't know if they were able to find out anything else. Maybe there's an investigation still ongoing. Maybe that's why we haven't heard anything. So as soon as we do hear something, I'll be happy to share that publicly. But I just thought I'd mention, at least to this point, if you were wondering, okay, yeah, what did happen with that? Because I hadn't thought about it in a while. Probably most of you haven't either. Nothing publicly anyway. So we'll see what happens. But it's just amazing that even happened. I would love to know exactly what kind of deficiency was in place that allowed such a breach to occur after all those years. Something clearly happened there. So anyway, that's what we know for now. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.